And this is the part where you cue in Ray Charles because America, we did it. 250 years of the experiment started off with 13 colonies and a bunch of guys who didn't know each other coming together to come up with a document to tell the king to go F himself. And with that, a rebellion, a couple of wars, and a whole lot of time and fighting to get to be one of the greatest nations of the world, if not the greatest based on how you rate things. Yeah, everything isn't perfect, and it took some of us a little bit longer to get some of that freedom that we were supposedly given with inalienable rights. But guess what? We're here now, 250 years now, the semi-quincentennial, the great celebration of a great nation, a young nation still, but still doing the best that we can, and doing better than many others thought we could, and doing, because we're doing so great, helping others out, showing that democracy, a little bit of patriotism, and just sometimes telling the boss that it's time to go, that it works out well. And it's great for us. We're doing a great job in most cases, and we're doing what we can to survive going forward. So let's have a party. Let's have a celebration. Hopefully somewhere where you are, you'll get a chance to see something of some fireworks, get a hot dog or a hamburger, or if you're down from Maine, get some lobster. Go for it. Have a blast. Do some celebrating. Do what you can. Right now, I'm currently watching to my left on the screen the celebration in the New York Harbor as they're waiting for Vice President Vance to give the speech for what's going on. President Trump, of course, gave something yesterday at Mount Rushmore, a little bit more dark dystopian. And tonight, the longest speech ever for a 4th of July celebration, where we expect the fireworks to go off around 11:30 midnight in D.C. We'll see what happens when that gets there. But here's sort of the thing that's sort of the big issue. Right now in 2026, this year of 250 years of the nation, it's also the year of the hottest nation ever. Like Trump says we're hot, but we're actually temperature hot. And because of that, your celebrations may actually vary today. This is a clip I pulled off of CNN just a few minutes ago before I got started. Philadelphia canceled its parade 2 days ago because they knew the heat was coming. DC is canceling its parade because the heat is here. The state fair in DC, which shut down many hours across the last couple of days because power issues kept the AC from the booth, is going to be started 2 hours late, and people out there will deal with the heat there. They're moving the Battle of Gettysburg inside. That would have been kind of interesting back in the Civil War, but because they can't deal with the heat, people are inside for the reenactments. And in many states, including as listed on the graphic there, Utah and Colorado, no fireworks in many cities. And those are controlled fireworks because burn bans and heat issues and things going on where fire are real dangers. In Colorado and Utah right now, dealing with some pretty big wildfires, they don't need to cause any other smaller ones to get in the way. Now, with that, we still want you to have a great day for your 4th of July and enjoy yourself. And today, I did something I've never actually done before. I've read the entire Declaration of Independence. I'm going to read for you in a little recording I did with some dramatic music that I'm going to put in here for my 3-minute thing I do every day. We'll have that here in a moment. It's not really the full thing. It's the first 2 paragraphs and the final paragraph. All the things, all the inalienable rights, all of our grievances that we gave in the document are not read because then I couldn't have done it in 3 minutes. But here's the thing about the Declaration of Independence. It was created for regular men who could read at the time to publish in the newspapers, both here and abroad, for the folks who were being declared independence by those guys in Philadelphia, and the folks overseas for England to actually say, oh, well, this is why we're going away. It only took a couple of years, and of course the whole war thing, for many folks in Great Britain to realize that the colonies were no longer a part of the colonies, because, you know, we didn't have the internet. But it was a thing that made for very interesting times, the way things are done. Right now, one of the bigger news stories going through in our slow news weekend for the holiday is the fact that a rare copy of the Declaration of Independence that was delivered to Great Britain, to the English, and has popped up here or there, keeps popping up here or there, popped up again this year for the semi-quincentennial. Some may think that may be a setup. Some may think it may be a little future thinking. But we are glad to be allied now with our former British Crown folks. And some from the Crown thinks, you know, it's just a matter of time. 250 years, you know, we've been here forever. They'll come back eventually. Sooner or later, they'll come back. We probably won't come back. But what we do have for you coming today is me reading this thing, the Declaration of Independence, the first couple of paragraphs the whole life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, those things. And to remind you, this is the first time I've actually sat down and read the whole thing from start to finish. And then when I read it, realized what I needed to do to put into for the recording and got a sense of it. Yeah, I'm not exactly Captain America, either one, and I'm not exactly the biggest goer of how things are going right now in our country. However, this is the greatest country in the world. I'm so glad I'm here, not someplace else. Cape Verde might be someplace fun to be right now, but other than that, this is it. This is a place. I've had a shot to have so many shots of being who I want to be and having, although the failures that keep coming are what they are, America's a place where anything can happen. It's not really guaranteed. Some of those inalienable rights you may want to question, and how people really want you to be a part of things are always there. But guess what? There are plenty of other places to go, and there's no place better than right here. And this is still, despite many people trying to make it seem harder to get here because they think it's more people coming in makes it less for them when they already have all the stuff. This is the place people aspire to be. This is where people want to get to. This is where people want to have a shot to do anything, from the smallest to the largest. There would not be a trillionaire if he didn't come here, because he couldn't have done it in South Africa or Canada. It just is what it is. It could not be the oldest, richest president to be in charge of the free world if he just stuck around and tried to dibble around in his little real estate and TV stuff. It was a time, it was a place and a way for him to make things happen. And despite all the craziness and all the darkness that he's saying that's there, because he's just trying to grift us, I've said that very loudly, that's not how we started. And even if you go back 250 years, talk about all the people there in charge, they may not have envisioned what we turned into, but they may not have thought about how things would have been as well. They were working for their own self-preservations, if you will, their own sort of selfishness, and the American experiment of democracy or democratic representation was essentially starting out from essentially the old guys being so far away and putting so much actual pressure on them that they just wanted to rule themselves. They just want to take care of themselves and see how things went over and, do things their own way. And so, because now we get a chance to do our things our own way, for the most part, there are laws and you have to follow traffic signs, things like that. We are here. So I want to thank you for being a part of the Conversation Project for all the years we've done this thing. I want to thank you for being part of this wrong introduction for a weird clip that's just me reading the Declaration of Independence, because we got to publish something for today. But I also want to thank you for being, if you're American, being an American and doing what you can to keep things going on track with here. If you're not American and you aspire to be, do what you need to do, keep working, do the legal way, do the right way, because we have space. We are open. We are looking for you to help us grow. And if you have some doubts about what we do here, whether you are an or not an, well, just take some time, have a conversation, talk to people about things, and hopefully do what we try to publish and push, work things out, have the conversations. Remember that people have rights and people have feelings and people have an ability to work things out. So let's do that. So with that, we're going to click the button here, shut it off, and I want you to just listen to my dramatic reading, if you will. It's the first, the second, and the final paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. The first time I've actually read the whole thing through, and of course that would take way too long. But just something patriotic for folks who think that, I might be a little too on the other side. Well, no, I'm not Captain America, but, I'm also not Thanos. So here we go. Thank you so much. God bless America. Happy 250, and hopefully another 250 coming soon. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, where in the course of human events it has become necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth and separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitled them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impelled their separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are all endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government become destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes, and accordingly will experience half shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer where evils are sufferable than the right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuse and usurpations pursuing inevitably the same objects evinces of design to reduce them under absolute disposition, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for the force of future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity that constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having a direct object in the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress, assembled appearing by the Supreme Judge of the world for the recital of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that in these united colonies are and the right ought to be free and independent states, and they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connections between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and there is free and independent states. They have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract allegiances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may right to do, and for the support of the Declaration and for the firm reliance of the protection of the divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our futures, and our sacred honor.